Well, we're ready to do the newspapers, but before then, we'll look at traffic.com.gh. And they're ready. Kojo and Romavi, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Daddy Roro. On behalf of Kojo Yankson.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. Looking rather spiffing today.
Yeah.
I like your pocket square.
Thank you.
If we can zoom in on Daddy Roro's pocket square. Oh, why?
No,
you will zoom in on your hair all the time.
It's better to view it at a distance.
Oh,
I
it's very nice.
you.
It's very nice.
Roland.
I like
Kojo
it.
Yankson and Mischief.
Oh, no. I like it.
Oh.
I like it. True story.
Brother. Okay, so we have to look at
thank you. How hard is that?
Thank you.
You're ever so welcome. God bless you.
Okay, thank you. I'll go to heaven because of that. God is blessing me. Ring Road Central. Let's look at the route quickly, and then we'll look at the newspapers. Today looks like free for all. The route is as free as it could be, and
6:34.
yes.
Hurry if you're still home.
Yeah, it means that you have to hurry as much as possible because this intersection usually at Paloma or where we have the N90 billboard would always lead you to the industrial area, and then you can use it as much as possible this morning if you're coming from many of the detour areas around the Kanda Highway, GBC, Dankwa, etc. Let's go to the next one. Again, the portal is traffic.com.gh, and then you can get to the various routes. Let's go to the Airport City bypass. It's foggy. It's because of the weather. It's affecting the cameras as well. This camera actually is overlooking the airport shell. It's a bit foggy. I'm not too sure whether it's clear on your screens, but you can find that it's still clear. I don't know. There's something about this Tuesday morning. Interestingly, it looks like at least for the frontages of the Holiday Inn area, the route that will take you to the Vodafone head office, it looks to be free. So you can use this route linking the Avions area, Elwak, Cantonment, many of those routes leading to 37. Now let's look at the Bema Camp, Gifford Road. There's always this detour that is always used from the Airport Hills route, the new bypass that has been made. For those who are coming from the Spinters Road, they may have thought it would be a good route this morning. Unfortunately not, because already we're having the congestion at the traffic intersection that will lead you to Elwak 37 into Cantonment. And it looks like if you want to go to Trade Fair, Bema Camp, you could use the roundabout that will lead you onto the overpass, and then you can get onto that route. But if you're heading towards Elwak, this is a no-go area. Let's go to, I believe, Tetekwashi. Okay, so this one, definitely we know that this route will link you from the Accra-Tema motorway. You get onto the N1. You want to go to Jawulu, areas around Roman Ridge, onwardly, Abekala Pass. You're going to Kaswa. This is the best route. It looks to be free this morning. So too is that route that will link you from Legon. Before then would have had the Zongo Junction area, Adenta, Amra here. Many of those routes, all those people living in those routes using this lane, it looks like it's free this morning. There's something about this Tuesday morning I keep saying. Accra is not as busy at this time of the morning, 6:37 as we have the time in the studio. Okay. Also, the roundabout, Tema roundabout as we call it, making entry onto the Accra-Tema motorway. This one also will lead you into the township of Tema. It looks to be free. Many of these cars will be coming from Dowenya or Afienya or many of those areas linking this roundabout. And we know that the construction is ongoing. It's an extension of the Tema Port Expansion Project, and it's being undertaken by MPS and their subcontractors. You can use this route. It looks to be free. Very uncharacteristic of this route this morning, but look, that'll be it. Throughout the rest of the day, you can check this portal, traffic.com.gh. We have to be ready for the latest news headlines we have. You can see some interesting one on the front page of the Finder about the economy.
The economy to grow?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Kojo?
Hi.
I think it's become a tradition.
That I get started, right?
Exactly.
All right, I'll
So the floor is yours.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you.
I am always.
Yeah. All right, then. So the Ghanaian Times, the Chronicle, and the Daily Guide are the papers I have in front of me. The Chronicle making an appearance, a rare appearance on our table.
True.
But with that rare appearance also.
We like it when it makes the appearance. Yeah.
Absolutely. A very interesting story on the front page in this rare appearance, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But let's get started. Ghanaian Times banner headline. Meteo predicts more downpour, advises public to take precautionary measures. And this is after Sunday's heavy rain. What precautionary measures can you take against rain?
Against rain?
If you live in any of those flood areas.
As a person, as an individual?
As a Ghanaian,
the problem we face
being
right now in our country, it's not an individual. Like, you can't take any precautions. Trust me, it's way beyond.
It looks like you've given up already.
No, it's beyond us. I mean, it's for the people we put there. We pay. We make very comfortable to think and solve the problems to do so.
Well, I mean, we do contribute to the problem when we litter and so forth. Yeah. But yes, you are right. The solution has to be structural. It has to be in such a way that, the next rain doesn't kill another 5 people. But guess what? There is somebody alive right now, probably watching us or listening to us or whatever, somebody alive somewhere who sadly is going to die when it rains. Can you imagine that that's your end? It rained and I died. How do you even explain this at the gates of heaven?
Yeah, because somebody failed.
As soon as you say that, they'll say, you must be from Ghana. Okay, 3 die after downpour in Accra, 2 missing. See what I'm talking about? Translate economic growth into improving living standards. That's TUC speaking to government. And government sets up body to respond to earthquakes. The vice president said this to the Ghana Institute of Engineers. Maybe we should set up a body to respond to rain as well. Call it the umbrella group. Okay, government initiates Creative Arts Fund Bill. That's according to the president. Meeting to discuss improved healthcare delivery underway in Accra. And that's it for the Ghanaian Times. Let's say hi to the Chronicle. And first story, banner headline. And this is what I hope we can talk about a bit later. We can't produce sperm test result. Police tell court over murder of GPHA manager. You remember that case where there was a suggestion by the police that they found some sperm on the victim, but they can't produce the results. Now, Madam Tiwa Adedankwa said something about this. We'll get to it later. Konkomba's call for fair reportage on Tripoli. Minority snubs Lydia Al-Hassan. And on the back page, Palace Decor supports Magdan ITF World Tour. That does it for the Chronicle. Daily Guide real quick. Front page, banner headline of the Daily Guide, real quick. 5 dead, 2 missing in Accra floods. All right, that should be on your screen any moment from now. No? Okay. All right. NPP saves... Oh, look, there it is. NPP saves $7 billion in Mahama energy deals. Really? Suspects sperm swab missing in GPHA murder case. Also, all set for World Meets in Ghana Investors Forum. Isn't that nice? Bank of Ghana upgrades banknotes. We heard about this yesterday, with Philip Namfuri giving us a very thorough explanation of how it'll work. And on the back page, let's flip that over real quick. On the back page of the Daily Guide, ABL Beta Malt Interco rocks Kumasi. 11 Wise launch anniversary and hold a procession. Football people celebrate Sribwa Boating. Football people, who are those?
Administrators.
Oh, okay.
Which of the teams do you manage?
I thought it was Kusinyan Tichi's family members. All right, Enterprise Life Cushions La Nativity.
Can we leave him alone?
YAF Walk. And, what could I possibly do to Kusinyan Tichi? Everybody's leaving him alone, including the...
Are you done, please?
So, why should I do
You're good?
to him? Oh, why? Oh, Mama, that's a nice picture.
Am I rushing you?
You seem
okay, go ahead.
You seem to be commending people this morning. Let's go to the custodian. You have a custodian having these stories on the front page. MPP, NDC meet over vigilantes today. And then we have Zoom Lion's $20 million plan to process more waste. BOG to issue high-tech CD notes, also on the front page of the custodian. CHIPS concept, key to universal health care and peace. And 6 killed in Accra floods. On the back page of related stories on PSG, Real Madrid, chasing Chelsea's Eden Hazard, AC Milan, wooing Pochettino, etc. Oh, they want to give him a 300 million war chest, so to speak, budget to be able to buy players. Let's go to the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Has on the front page excerpts from Ben Efson's forthcoming book, Mahama Fan Club's Weekend Party Structures. That's page 2. So you want to have a sneak peek into what you should expect in his new election analysis or review publication. Please make sure that you make a date with the Daily Dispatch. Other stories on the front page focus on the first paramount chief of Equiapem, who had 62 official wives and 147 children.
52 official wives.
And how many children?
It's still less than what Solomon had.
How many?
147.
147.
How many
children?
constituencies do we have? Okay, no, it's more than that.
Yeah, too small. It's still small.
So
62
this is
is
some
a
record,
smaller
right?
number.
62.
Yeah.
And 147 children.
Yeah, it's too small.
Yeah, lazy guy, right?
Solomon had how many? Solomon. Yeah.
Almost 1,000, right?
Yeah. Charlie.
That's wives and
even then
combined.
Oh, great.
But I like this because it says official, right?
Official, yeah.
Yeah. So the unofficial wives today. I mean, he must
No,
have
they
been,
haven't said that.
He
They're
must have
giving
been
you the
married at a
official
point. He must
record.
have been married like once a month. To have 62 wives.
Yeah. Once a month.
You and I were not there.
Official wives, who?
For the records, JDM banned Mahama fan clubs in October 2018. Okay, so you go to the back page, you have more focus.
So the 62nd wife, eh?
Do you know it?
No, I'm wondering.
Why are you fascinated by that?
It's a fascinating story. So when he proposed to her and said, "I'm going to marry you and make you my 62nd wife," did she say, "Oh, how romantic"? Did she feel special in any way?
How did they respond to love gestures those days? I don't know. You know, as a chief,
She must have still
you
felt
just have
quite
to gesture
honored,
and say, Charlie, Braha.
Is that it?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay.
No way.
Oman
Roland,
Hiafra.
go to the statesman.
Okay, so the statesman, Mavi, is directing, and the statesman says, the Akufo-Addo rally support for aging musicians. Vigilante talks launched today. Peace Council mediates between MPP and NDC on the front page. And then we have MPP sets its sights on 4 NDC seats. Afotiagbo, Inus Afuseni are top targets, we're told, by the statesman. All right. Back page, England Sterling says players should not leave pitch over racist abuse.
They should.
What?
They should.
Players should not leave the pitch over racist abuse. Who is saying this?
This
England.
is Sterling.
You see,
I say they should.
well, I mean, he can only appeal to them. But to be perfectly honest, if I'm a footballer and I find that the crowd to which I'm playing are abusing me racially, I mean, honestly, I have every right. It's within my human rights.
If the referee
walk
does not
away.
intervene, you know, you have to,
Yeah,
because
look,
otherwise you lose it.
Even if the
It's
referee,
better to walk away.
if the
Who will
referee
lose it?
intervenes.
The player.
It's only players like Suleiman Tari and the rest who
No
lose
way,
it.
Roland.
Sterling has taken a lot of abuse, so I'm sure he's in good stead.
Wait till it happens to you.
Look, what I'm saying is that it is well within any player's rights to walk off.
Sure.
I think we should be
rather than
advocating.
face.
I think we should be
abuse.
advocating that sometime, maybe sometime to come, the rest of the players should go with the person. Except that, I mean, it's going to have an effect on.
But that's the point. That's the point. If you really
not
want
on the game, but you
if you really want
will
racism
lose
to
some
stop,
3 points when
if
it's
you want
if it's a crucial.
racism to stop,
You have to take a stand.
you have to take a stand. And if the cost
Get
of
your
that stand is
colleagues
3
to walk
points,
out with you.
if the
That's
cost of
worth
that stand is
Yeah.
3 points, it's
Yeah.
well worth it.
Leave the game for them.
I love the action.
Let's do the Daily Graphic and the Find the newspaper. The Daily Graphic. First front page. Well done. TUC tells government on economic management, calls for gains to reflect in lives. Also, 5 die in Sunday's Accra rains. All workers to contribute towards pension. Cabinet gives approval. Investment forum to mark Otunfo's anniversary. Back page of the paper, Aker Energy to invest some $4.5 million in capacity building. Wholesale projects at Kath abandoned for lack of funds. The front page, economy to grow by 7.6% on the back of increases in oil and gas production, according to the World Bank. Bank of Ghana to issue upgraded cedi notes on May 6. If we have time, we'll just share a bit of the features with you. If you missed what we did yesterday on JoyNews, MTN records over 1 billion Ghana cedis profit before tax in 2018. CTFM exposes NIA demands apologies. Also another headline on the front page of the Find That newspaper. All right, so that's it. Just real quick on this one in the Daily Graphic on all workers to contribute towards pension. I'm sure maybe somebody's thinking that, oh, but we all do contribute. Well, there are a certain category of workers who don't contribute. Yeah. BNI, some security agencies, police, the prisons. Yeah. So we're trying to get everybody to contribute, but not quite, because the army would still be exempted.
Right.
So they rely on the state to pay their pensions. But the whole talk is that if we go this way, we will not be able to sustain our pension scheme. Yeah. So details of that in the Daily Graphic newspaper. All right, guys.
Okay. Now you see, that's a problem. The suggestion then is that our pension schemes are not being managed as well as they should. They're not making as much profit as they should. Somebody needs to be looking at how we invest the money and the things we spend, we invest our pensions in, and whether.
But we should also fairly pay and contribute to it if we're going to be relying on it when we go on pension.
I absolutely agree. Yeah. All right then. So so this story about the sperm, Yeah. You're going straight for sperm. Okay, so
doesn't surprise me. Go ahead.
Does it not?
Nah.
Really? What do you know?
Nothing.
Okay.
That's why I'm waiting for your info.
All right. So this is the story of the investigation into the killing of the GPHA manager. You recall that, and I think I'll perhaps take the story from the Daily Guide. Both the Chronicle and the Guide report it. But this is something that we've been keeping an eye on for quite a while. It happened around the time that Ahmed Swale died, but just before.
And I think coincidentally, just a week today, the CID boss also gave an update on it.
Very good. Now, I think we have that update because it's very relevant to what we're seeing in the papers today. If we can get what Madam Tiwa Adudankwa said about this particular case, can we have that? We don't have it. Yeah. Okay then. So in the newspaper, it says the biological samples extracted from persons standing trial in the murder of former Marketing and Public Affairs Manager of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Josephine Asante Tando, are not at the Forensic and Science Lab of the Ghana Police Service, contrary to assertions by prosecution that they were taken to the police lab. All right, so Dr. Kofi Japan Efrifa is the one who heads this forensic lab.
Okay.
And
Dr.
he is saying that... And he is saying that, he was saying that in court in Tema, that, look, there are no such samples. He's unaware of any samples taken from the accused persons. Okay, now the accused persons in this case are Amos Aprakun and Christian Ejay. Christian Ejay is the driver and houseboy of the deceased. Amos Aprakun is the driver, Christian Ejay is the houseboy. Okay. And basically, this is the samples taken from them, which were to be compared against samples taken from the victim. These samples have disappeared, or perhaps they never existed, because the man who heads the lab says he's not aware of any such samples. Meanwhile, the prosecution says we sent them to the lab.
To this specific lab, because I was just going to say that, well, maybe
they might have sent it to the wrong
another lab.
Okay, well, this is
but I haven't read the story, so I'll take my time and read it.
You see, now, this is the problem. Dr. Japan Efrifa says that his lab is currently working on the deceased. Okay? So, if the accused person's samples are taken for comparison, where should they be sent? Okay. So he says the lab received an order on January 28 to analyze some blood samples brought in by the CID to determine whether it contains sperm and whether the blood samples match that of the deceased. He says emphatically that this outfit is yet to receive an order for extraction of sperm, body fluid, and blood samples of the accused persons, contrary to earlier claim. Okay, so which samples were sent to him? This is confusing. Anyway, the reason why this is interesting is because I was at the press briefing of the CID,
yes.
Madam
That'll be last week.
Yes,
yeah,
last week.
Exactly a week ago.
And she said something very interesting, which I had hoped we could play to you, but we can't. Now, what she said was that very soon, if we follow the court case, we will find out whether or not there were blood samples taken and analyzed.
Blood samples?
There were samples, sorry, forgive me. Samples taken and analyzed. Okay. Now, this is because for a long time there has been this suspicion that the samples have disappeared. People have been asking, are samples? No, where are the samples? What are the results of your findings? These two individuals, are they guilty or not? Do you have forensic evidence to pin them to the crime? And they have been shadow boxing and saying, oh, yes, we have samples, blah, blah, blah. That's the reason why they took these two individuals to court. That's why the prosecution took them to court. Okay. But now we're hearing that there are no samples, or at least the lab that is supposed to process them has no record of them. I mean, what a serious bungling. If this is really true, if nobody's lying to us.
So, okay, but this doesn't tell us how the police or the prosecution responded to that, right?
No, this is one witness.
In charge of the lab.
Yes, this is one witness who is giving
still very
testimony.
open. It's still very open. We still could have the samples somewhere else. Or
but that would mean that the evidence has been, the chain of evidence has been.
Maybe they're still preserving it at the police. I don't know, but I want some answers actually. But I'll take my time and read the stuff.
It seemed as if you were providing them.
No, I am in no position to. I didn't even go to this press briefing, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, look.
But this is a serious matter.
But it appears, Madam Tiwa was convinced that we were going to finally hear something that would vindicate the police.
And maybe it is coming.
Maybe the next witness. All right then.
Okay. I was, you have any other thing?
Yeah,
yesterday, okay, just real quick. Yesterday we talked about the Commission of Inquiry, right? And how we haven't heard anything. So I went digging. I found, some information that I would share. But interestingly, the NDC also issued a press statement. So we box all together. After you, Roland.
It's about the Finder's front page story about the economy to grow by some 7.6%.
It has not grown, no.
It will.
It's a projection. These
yes,
things,
and this is a
happen.
projection by the World Bank, and even this is even an upward projection comparable to what government had also projected for the year. And particularly knowing that we're adding a Greek as one of the sectors that would ensure that ultimately there's some growth that is witnessed, I think that's a good thing. The only worry would be that we seem consistently to be growing on the back of the extractive industry or the oil and gas sectors.
Why is that a worry?
It's a worry because the gains in the extractive industry, even though has been positive over the last 2 years or 3 years, doesn't ultimately trickle down to the micro level of the economy.
Why not?
Yeah, because we don't have more skills, the type of people who would contribute significantly or even be gaining much by way of gaining employment, etc.
So you see, when we're making a lot more from services, we complained.
Yeah,
and I think I'm
trying to get him to a point.
No, and even though government seems to be telling us that they are investing more in one district, one factory, and also the planting for food and jobs, we need to see how the end product of those sectors or those policy initiatives, where they end up. Because still, we have consistently witnessed gluts in in agricultural production over the last 12 months, in which there's the produce from the farms because government says they've done great investment in plentiful food and jobs. But what do we do with the end product? And I think that if we really want not to depend on aid, we have to diversify this, all these sectors of the economy. It's not good enough to say that with oil, this is what we get. With the extractive industries as well.
So you've noticed that very often when we're talking about the fundamentals, we say something like non-oil GDP.
Yes, consistently.
You know, non-oil growth. So as a country, we want to see how we are growing without oil, even though we have oil. We want to separate our
Haven't we seen that when we didn't
figures.
have oil and it was just the services?
Yes, but why are we putting the oil aside when we do the calculation?
Okay. I see where you're coming from.
You get what I'm saying? Why is it important to know how much we are growing without oil? Or what our GDP is without oil?
Because the oil won't be there forever, I guess.
Well, nothing will be there forever.
Yeah, well. Okay.
So why?
It is always important for us to get to know why we are growing without oil.
Why?
Or not without oil. Because we need to ensure that the other relevant sectors or the complementary sectors beyond oil or the extractive industry also contribute significantly in creating jobs, in making sure we have growth in industry and some of those relevant areas.
So should we also
shall we reserve this for Ken Oforiatta?
Should we also have non-agric GDP?
Because over time in history, we've seen countries that have had oil and not invested adequately in other relevant sectors in their economy.
You're getting to the point.
Yes.
It's because we are mismanaging our oil. Because
well, not
we
necessarily.
have struck deals.
I wouldn't say we're not
Can I do my commission of inquiry?
We're not mismanaging.
You won't hear me out.
No, I'm hearing
Okay.
you, but I think I'll disagree on that.
But I haven't made my point
Okay,
yet.
let me just leave you guys to
relax.
I'll take my position and you just battle. When you are done, you come
we're coming
to
to
me.
you in a
We're
second.
done.
So look, it's because the deals we strike with our oil do not
We have no
benefit
choice.
our nation.
No, they do benefit our nation.
Okay.
They do not.
Time out.
If
They
they
do.
did, then we
They
would.
do.
We would.
Time out.
It's a matter of policy.
they
What
did,
we want to
Shall
do.
we
would
dedicate
happily
the
add it
last
to our figures and never
15
feel
minutes
a
of our
need
show before
to
9
separate
so that
it
you guys can
from the
battle it
rest
out?
of our figures. That's the point I'm
If you ask
making
me,
to
I
you.
think it's more of the
Mama
commitment
B.
owner.
Oh gosh.
Shall I go?
Hi, Mama B.
Can I continue to live
Yeah,
with
yes.
you too?
Are you coming to look at the budget?
Can I continue to live with you too?
Is it
Okay.
20
everybody
So
lives
yesterday
with one.
we
You want
all
to live
talked
with
about the
two.
Commission of Inquiry, right? And
Yes.
we talked about how they presented their report, but we haven't heard anything. Now yesterday the NDC also issued a statement, and I want us to go real quick to that statement that was issued, signed by Sami Jemfi, and it says that the NDC calls on the President of the Republic to, without delay, publish in full the report of the Emil Short Commission of Inquiry, which was set up by the President to investigate the circumstances surrounding the violence that broke out during the by-election at Ayawaso West Walk on 31st January 2019. All right. So just by way of facts, we wanted to share with you what the law says. And this is actually from the Constitution, the 1992 Constitution. So Article 283 of the 1992 Constitution will give us answers as to when we can hold or we can go hard in terms of why are we not hearing anything. So here we go with what we've gathered for you. The President shall, and this is from Article 280, the President shall, 283. President shall, subject to clause 4 of this article, cause to be published a report of the Commission of Inquiry together with the white paper on it within 6 months after the date of the submission of the report by the Commission. Clause 4 says, where the report of the Commission of Inquiry is not to be published, the President shall issue a statement to that effect, given reasons why the report is not to be published. So these are the timelines. Remember that the Constitution says within 6 months, right? Okay, so Thursday, 14 February 2019, the Commission began oral hearings, and we're talking about the Emil Short Commission. Thursday, February March 2019, Chairperson of the Commission, Justice Emil Short, presented a report to the President. So if we're going strictly by what is in the Constitution, then before September 14, 2019, the president's decision should be known. What has become of the Emil Short Commission reports? Except that we do so strictly. If you want to hold the president, then you have to go by the law.
Right.
Except that we know that this was because of the events at Ayawaso West Walk-on. We all expect that it would be sped up. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have one example to share.
It's fascinating.
One example to share in terms of Commission of Inquiry. Remember the one that looked into the Constitution, that to review the Constitution. Okay, so that was set up January 2010 to consult with the people, get recommendations. They submitted their report 11 December 2011, and then the white paper was issued 15 June 2012. You get what I mean? Yeah. So that's the facts for all of us to learn.
Yeah. Great precedents and what we
Okay.
did.
Can you start your battle again?
Yeah. Lawyer need.
No.
Mama V.
No.
Mama V. Manchester, where are they on the log?
Oh, we're not talking about Manchester United. We're talking about, because, we all needed to educate ourselves, because we also sat here yesterday to say, why is the president not saying anything? Why is the president? Even though I think we still will have to say it, but bearing in mind what the law says. But this is something that we need to go forward, because we've got elections in 2020 next year. And we have the NDC and the NPP sitting with the Peace Council mediating. They're setting the rules today. So we obviously need a decision, and the president was very hopeful. He actually believed in these people that he assembled in terms of those who made up the commission. So we want to move forward with that decision.
Even though the timelines are all outlined in what the law is indicating, it's also because of the urgency that has been attached to the subject.
Exactly.
That is why there seemed to be the call.
Yeah.
And that is why there also need to be the commitment and the agency from the one who commissioned the commission to sit.
Yeah.
You understand? So at the end of the day,
what you've explained are sort of the outer limits of timelines, but there's nothing stopping the president from doing it
absolutely
earlier.
not.
So whether he decides to do it earlier or not will be a choice.
Yeah.
And that choice will tell us something.
Well, I have information though that he's going to be doing it very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
That's actually what I'm trying to get at. So if he decides to do it sooner than the time frame permits, that's an indication that he considers it an important and serious matter of priority.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Are we done now?
Yeah,
we want to talk about Manchester United. I actually want to talk about the referee who was assaulted.
Yeah, Bremen's
allegedly.
referee.
I mean, I think it's sad,
Bremen's.
especially because she was, and this is a woman who's officiated men's football, and this is women. I mean, it's a woman officiating a women's game, and then she was assaulted. I think I'm not saying that if it was done in the men's game, it would be good. Either way,
so was she assaulted by women?
Well, that's what I am not sure. Except that they say some of the spectators or and the people involved. This is security, right? This is prisons.
The prisons.
Exactly.
It makes you.
It's shocking.
Yeah. But what kind of security do we even provide for our local games? For a game like that?
Well, the answer is in the fact that she got beaten. None.
We've got some facts, and I think that Benedict was shared is very horrifying. The way she describes the beating, like an armed robber.
I was beaten like an armed robber.
Yeah.
I was attacked by a prison officer who was wearing a black top in the full glance of the it should be full glare of the public. I cried for help, but nobody came to my rescue.
It's a shame.
And
we're sorry that she had to go through that doing her work.
So sad.
And this was women playing football with a woman officiating the game. Well,
grown-ups who get so emotional about a game that they have to resort to violence are really children.
Children don't even do that.
Oh no, well, I mean, if you have a child with perhaps some sort of deficiency, they might throw tantrums, unnecessarily. But beyond that,
we have to do sports.
This is an indictment on the prison system.
Grown people fighting over football.
We have to do sports. Good morning to you, Benjamin Kwejo to Formino. You're watching us from London, United Kingdom.
Where
could you live for